Hey guys, welcome to Cook to Nourish. Today's recipe is that of aromatic chicken and vegetable soup, which is great when you are recovering from a cold. This has some AIP reintro spices, but you can make it completely AIP as well. Hi guys, so I'm going to make a chicken and vegetable soup based on whatever vegetables I could find in my fridge. So I'm just recovering from COVID. My husband is out sick with COVID. He's miserable right now. And right now, my goal is to prevent my children from getting it. So we're kind of taking it easy. Now that I have recovered, I'm trying to make a soup today. And I thought I'll record it because when I was asking my son to make a soup the other day, he was not sure how to make a chicken soup. So I thought I need to record this recipe for future, right? So what I'm going to do is basically add all the vegetables that I have, add in some spices and make a nice flavorful chicken soup and vegetables that we can just have as a meal, or they can have some, and also cook some white rice so that they can just have it with the white rice and have a nice wholesome meal, which would also be very rejuvenating for all of us, especially for my husband and I recovering from COVID. And then it could also be like a nice immune booster for my children. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I do is press the saute button on the Instant Pot so that it gets heated up. And then I'm chopping 2 onions here. As you can see, one of them is like a small size red onion and one is an extra large yellow onion. So basically roughly around like 2 large onions is what you need for this recipe. And kind of chop it roughly. And next what I'm going to do is add some olive oil into the Instant Pot now that it's hot, and then I'm going to add these onions into it. So the way I am doing it is I just kind of put the Instant Pot on, and then I am adding the I'm chopping as I go along and then adding the vegetables into the pot one after the other. However, if you can't handle that kind of a thing, I recommend that you chop everything in advance and then go about the recipe. Okay, so here I have a whole garlic chopped fine, and then about a 2 by 1 inch piece of fresh ginger that also I am finely chopping. So roughly that amounts to about 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger and 2 tablespoons of fresh garlic finely chopped. So all that also goes into the Instant Pot. Make sure the saute button is on medium and not high as you are doing this. Next, I am taking 1/4 of a cabbage. I'm kind of roughly shredding it here, and all that will go into the Instant Pot as well. So right now I have the onions and the ginger and garlic in the Instant Pot, and next I'll be adding the shredded cabbage as well. So there it goes next. So all this I'm doing like within a span of a couple minutes. Okay, so again, if you can't handle chopping them fast, then I recommend that you finish chopping everything first and then follow the steps. So here I have a 1 medium carrot. So see, as you can see, I'm also like pausing my chopping in between to kind of give that a stir, to make sure that the vegetables are not getting scorched or burned. So here I have finished chopping of the carrot, and then next I am slicing up some mushrooms. So that's like about 12 whole mushrooms that I have finely sliced. So the carrots and the mushrooms go in next. So far in your Instant Pot, I have the olive oil, the onion, ginger, garlic, cabbage, and then mushrooms and carrot. Again, I'm periodically giving it a stir just to make sure that the vegetables are not getting burned. Next, I'm going to add some whole spices. So here I have 12 whole peppercorns and a bay leaf. Next, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of Himalayan pink salt, half a teaspoon, heaping half teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon of coriander powder. Now you can make this completely AIP elimination compliant by just avoiding all those seed spices. Next, I added half a teaspoon of cumin powder. And I have measured here 6 cups of filtered water, so that goes into the pot as well. Give it a quick stir, and then next we will add the chicken. So what I like to, before that, sorry, I have half a teaspoon of white pepper as well. Now this is again a very important ingredient for that aromatic spice. And next is like the chicken. I like to use chicken thighs that are boneless, and I have about 1.5 pounds of that. So between 1.5 to 2 pounds of chicken. You can even use boneless chicken, boned in chicken, because as you can see I'm putting them whole, and then later on I'm going to take it out and shred them. So considering that, you can also add in boned in chicken, and which would be great as well. Next, 2 whole cloves and 1 piece of cinnamon stick. Now for fresh herbs, usually I add cilantro and mint, but the other day I was out of fresh cilantro and mint, so I took basically fresh rosemary and thyme from my garden and just decided to go with those. So any kind of fresh herbs will be good for this soup. And now we are going to pressure cook. Now that you have everything in there, I'm going to pressure cook it. Make sure the valve is in the sealing position. Now first what you do is press cancel because you were on saute mode, and then do pressure cook and increase the time to 10 minutes. And meanwhile, as your chicken is pressure cooking, you can chop some other vegetables. So here I have zucchini and scallions that I am chopping up roughly. The reason those didn't go in first along with the rest of the vegetables is because I did not want the zucchini to get mushed, because it takes very little to cook it. So I'm going to add it later on. Now, as you can see, the 10 minutes are done. I release the pressure, and now I'm going to get the chicken pieces out. So you can use a ladle and try and get the chicken pieces out, all of them, and then we basically shred them and then put it back into the soup. So as I said before, anywhere between 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of chicken will be good for this recipe. This recipe, by the way, makes a really big batch, around 6 to 8 servings. Now 6 servings if you're just having it as a meal alone, but if you pair it with a little bit of white rice, then it can make up to 8 servings. So now goes in our zucchini and the scallion. So can kind of just add everything in there. And now I'm not going to pressure cook it anymore, because again I don't want to get it mushy. So I am only going to put it on saute mode and then just loosely place the lid over it. So I'm just going to kind of take the lid and loosely place it over it. It's not like covered completely. And here to the chicken I'm adding 2 more cups of water. That way it will cool a little bit faster too. And then I am actually letting it cool a little bit and then shredding the chicken using my hands. You can also use like a fork or a spoon to shred them, but I just find it easier to shred it using my hands. Now as you can see how this is loosely covered. So this was cooking for about 5 minutes. About 5 to 7 minutes is enough to cook the zucchini, and the scallions barely take up much time to cook as well. So there you go. Now all the vegetables are nicely cooked, and now we will just add the shredded chicken to the soup. So we just add all of this. Give everything a stir, and now is your chance to check the seasoning and add more salt or pepper if needed. I like to, so we've added whole black pepper. So now I actually add some freshly cracked black pepper as well. And because of this too, the soup is like really very rejuvenating and restorative, because it helps, all that ginger, the pepper, and the aromatic spices helps to get all those congestion out of your system. So this is really a great soup. The vegetables make it so nutrient dense as well. So it's really a very healing and rejuvenating soup, and it is absolutely delicious as well. So I hope you can try this recipe. And yeah, so now when you serve it, you can discard all the whole herbs and the bay leaf, etc. The black peppercorns can stay as is, and just when you have the soup, you can kind of avoid them. Thank you for watching. Hope you like this recipe. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.